Welcome to my class. Myself Murali D, contract lecturer in mechanical engineering from GMR Polytechnic Utnur. On this class, we are going to discuss about the pumps. This is from fluid mechanics and hydraulic machinery. Uh, this subject is very useful for diploma students of Telangana state for second year and second semester. Today we are going to discuss the construction details of double acting reciprocating pump and the working of double acting reciprocating pump and derive the expression for discharge, work done, power required to drive the pump. These topics are we are going to discuss in this class, that is construction details of double acting reciprocating pump, working of double acting reciprocating pump, derive expression for discharge and work done and power required to drive the pump. In last class, and it is in this class also, we are going to discuss understand indicator diagram, know the effect of variation of velocity and acceleration of fluid in suction and delivery pipes. So observe this diagram. This is a double acting reciprocating pump. Here it is there are two suction pipes and two delivery pipes are there. This is these two red color are two delivery pipes, and these two blue colors are two suction pipes. Here it is the same. These the main parts of this double acting reciprocating pump. Cylinder. Observe here it is the cylinder. In the pink line, this is the cylinder and piston is connected to piston rod. The piston rod is connected to connecting rod, and further it is connected to crankshaft, and this crankshaft is run with an external source, that is an electrical motor or an IC engine, whatever other source. So here it have in double acting reciprocating pump, the liquid acts both sides of the pistons. So that means here is the liquid acts this side, left side and right side of the piston. Hence for double acting reciprocating pump, two suction pipes, this is one and this is two suction pipes and two delivery pipes. These are two delivery pipes are required. In this pump, suction and delivery strokes occur simultaneously. Suppose suction is occurred at right side of the left side of the piston, suction is occurred at the right side left side of the piston, and compression and delivery stroke is occurred at right of the piston. When the piston moves towards right, vacuum is when the piston moves towards right, the vacuum is created at left hand side, this side x place, and high pressure is built at this y side, that is piston rod side. Therefore the liquid enters at left portion through delivery suction pipe 1. Here it is the suction pipe 1, and here it is the suction pipe 2 is closed, and here delivery 1 pipe is also closes, and only the delivery 2 pipe is opens. The liquid enters the left portion of the piston from sump 2 when the piston moves from left hand side to right side, from left side to right side. Here is suction 1 valve is open and suction 2 valve is closes, and delivery 1 valve is closes, delivery 2 valve is open because of high pressure is built at left hand side, piston rod side. So the left hand side is a delivery 2 valve. Here it is the 2 valve is open, and the discharge of liquid from right side opening the discharge valve 2. Similarly, when the piston moves towards left, therefore the suction valve 2 is open, suction 1 valve is closes, and delivery 2 valve is also closes, delivery 2 valve is open. The suction is created at Y side and high pressure is built at X side, and the liquid, therefore the discharge from the double acting pump is therefore the suction through the valve S2 and the delivery through D1 valve. So in these cases the discharge from the double acting pump is more uniform than single acting reciprocating pump. Here it is, when the piston moves from left hand side to right hand side, the suction 1 valve is open, only delivery 2 valve is open. The suction is built by the suction pipe at left side only, and the delivery is done with the delivery valve 2. When the piston moves from right side to left side, here the suction 2 valve is open, the liquid from the sump is entered into the cylinder with the suction valve 2, and the liquid water, the fluid in the left side of the piston is delivered to the delivery pipe with the delivery valve 1. So here it is, the in double acting reciprocating pump is more uniform comparing to the single acting reciprocating pump. The main parts of the single acting reciprocating pump is a cylinder barrel, piston, 2 suction pipes, 2 suction valves, 2 delivery valves, and 2 delivery valves. 2 suction pipes, 2 suction valves, 2 delivery pipes, 2 delivery valves, connecting rod and crank mechanism. Here it is, the cylinder accommodates the piston to reciprocate. Piston reciprocate inside the cylinder, exerting thrust on the liquid. Suction pipe is connected, which connects the source of water and cylinder. Delivery pipe is used to discharge water from the cylinder. Delivery suction valve, which admits the flow of water through suction pipe into the cylinder. And delivery valve is admits the flow of water from cylinder to delivery pipe. And working, already we discussed the working on this, and again I will show a video here. Watch the video carefully, you will get a clear idea about it. Watch this video about the working and constructional details of the single double acting reciprocating pump.
I teach you double acting reciprocating pump. I teach you the constructions and working of double acting reciprocating pumps. Before going on construction and working, I explain you what is the meaning of double actings. Okay, so generally the double acting means on both the side of the piston, means this is the piston, this is the one side of piston, this is the another side. Both the side of the piston, suction and delivery takes place. It is known as the double acting reciprocating pump. What is single acting? this is the piston, and on the one side of this piston, suction and delivery takes place. It is known as the single acting reciprocating pump. So before moving ahead, I request to subscribe my channels by pressing the subscribe buttons and also like this video. So here you seeing it is the water level. This is a suction pipe A, this is a suction pipe B, and it is a suction valve SB, this is a suction valve SB, and this is the cylinder. Inside the cylinder it is the piston, this is the piston rod, this is the connecting rod, and it is the crank, and crank is rotate. So here 0 degree motion, then 90, 180, 270 and 360. Now this is the delivery pipe A, this is the delivery pipe B. Delivery valve DA, delivery valve DB, and the discharge takes place from this pipe. Okay, so this is the piston, this is the one side and this is another side. On the both the side, suction and delivery takes place simultaneously. It is known as the double acting reciprocating. Simultaneously means when the one side suction takes place, then another side delivery stroke takes place. Okay, that is known as the simultaneously stroke. So first we go through the forward stroke. During this forward stroke, the crank is moved from this 0 degree to 180 degree. Okay, and piston is moved from this left side to right side. The piston is moved towards the right sides of the cylinders. Okay, here I indicate this arrow. It is moving from left to right sides. Then what happens? On the left side, there is a suction is created or a vacuum is created, and due to this vacuum, suction valve SA is open. Okay, and the water is start to enter from this suction valve into this left side of this piston. And on the right side, what happened? At that same time, the liquid on the right side of the piston is compressed. Means on the right side, the water is already available. This water is compressed, its pressure is increased, and the water available on the right side, at that time this delivery valve DB is open and the water is discharged through this valve DB. So this is happen in a forward stroke. Means on the left side there is a suction takes place, on the right side delivery takes place. And then next stroke is known as the reverse stroke. During that what happened? Okay, during that first I explain you that in a single acting what happened? The water is not continuously supplied. Okay, that is a disadvantage of a single acting reciprocating pumps. That is an intermediate flow is taken or a pulsating flow is taken. So avoiding this disadvantage of single acting, the double acting pump is used. And by using this double acting reciprocating pump, we are able to get continuous discharge by using this double acting. Okay, in reverse stroke what happened? This crank is moving from 180 degree to 360 degree. That's why piston is moving from the right side to left sides. Okay, so it is moving from right to left side. Then what happened? On the right side there is a suction is created. Okay, so I written here that liquid is sucked from a sump through a suction valve SB. Okay, so vacuum is created and this SB valve is open, and on this right side of this piston there is a suction is takes place. And on the left side what happened? On the left side water is already available of a forward stroke water. Okay, so at that time the liquid on the left side of the piston is compressed, and due to this pressure the suction valve is remains closed. Okay, at that time two valve is open. During forward stroke two valve is open, that is the SA and DB. During reverse stroke only two valve is open, that is the SB and DA. Okay, so delivery valve DA is open and liquid is discharged through this valve. Okay, then this process is continuously takes place. Okay, so one time that is a suction, another time delivery. So this process is continuous and we are able to get continuous waters by using this double acting pump. So thank you for watching this video. If you learned, then like the video, subscribe the channels and share with your.
I hope all of you understand the video. Oh, and this is for double acting reciprocating pump construction and working. Now the discharge of double acting reciprocating for second is 2 into, we know that for single acting reciprocating pump what the discharge is for single acting reciprocating pump, Q is equal to LAN by 60 meter cube per second. But in double acting reciprocating pump it is double acting, it is a double suction is at the time it is two operations is done. When the piston moves from left hand side to right hand side, the suction one valve is open and delivery two valve is open. When the right side fluid is the pressure increased and the delivery pipe valve 2 is open and the liquid available at right side of the piston is delivery through delivery pipe. When the piston moves from right side to left side, here it is suction 2 valve is open and suction 1 valve is closes, and delivery 2 valve is also closes and delivery 1 valve is open, and the already available fluid at left hand side of the piston is increases the pressure and delivery through the delivery pipe. There are two strokes, it is working is stroke, so that is that discharge of the fluid is 2 into LAN by 60 meter cube per second. This is the discharge of double acting reciprocating pump, where A into L volume of water delivered in 1 revolution in meter cube and N by 60 number of revolutions per second, and work done for second is equal. Here it is the what is the work done for second. What is the work done for double acting single acting reciprocating pump? We know that the single acting reciprocating pump work done for second is WQ into HS plus HD. This is for work done for second is equal for single acting pump. This is for single acting pump. So now it is similar to that, but it is into 2. It is similar, the work done for second double acting reciprocating pump WQ W into 2Q into HS plus HD kilonewton meter per second. This is work done for second for double acting reciprocating pump. Power required to drive the pump, here it is also same for single acting reciprocating pump. Single acting reciprocating pump, power required to drive the pump is WQ into HS plus HD. This is for single acting reciprocating pump. Similarly, for double acting reciprocating pump, W into 2 into LAN by 60 into HS plus HD. So that is equal to W into 2Q into HS plus HD. This is the power required to drive the pump, that is work done for second. Okay, where W is the specific weight of water in that is equal 9.281 kilonewton per meter cube, and HS is the suction head and HD is the delivery head. HS plus HD is equal total lift of water in meter. And indicator diagram, we will discuss here indicator diagram. Observe this, the indicator diagram. Here it is. Observe this figure number 1. Here it is the pressure head on y-axis, and stroke length on x-axis. Stroke length on x-axis and pressure head on y-axis. This is the absolute zero pressure and the suction stroke. Observe here the diagram A, B, C, D. Here it is the when the suction head, so here it is completely H1 and H2 is the head of the sum, and HS is the suction head and HD is the delivery head. Here it is the delivery head and here it is the suction head. This is the suction pipe. So up to EF, here it is the line is EF, here it is the atmospheric pressure line. Atmospheric pressure line. When after the above the atmospheric pressure line, the pressure of the water is high, and below the suction stroke. When the piston moves from A to B, here it is the suction stroke is created, and water is sucked from the suction pipe and delivered through delivery valve A to B, and here it is B to C. Here it is the suction pipe is there. So observe, here it is clearly indicator diagram. It is a graph between pressure head and stroke length of the piston for one complete revolution. The distance travelled by piston in piston cylinder for one complete revolution of the crank is stroke length. The distance travelled by piston in cylinder for one complete revolution of crank is known as stroke length. The area of the indicator diagram represents the work done. The area of the complete area of the indicator diagram represents the work done by the pump during one complete cycle. So atmospheric HATM is equal to atmospheric head, L is equal length of the stroke, HS is equal suction head, and HD is the delivery head. H1 is the absolute pressure at the beginning of the stroke, and HB is the absolute pressure at end of the stroke. Here observe this diagram. H absolute zero pressure and absolute pressure at the end of the stroke. And A1 area ADEF represents the work done on liquid during suction stroke, that is equal HS. So here ABEFE, this is completely represents the work done on liquid during suction stroke, that is HS, suction stroke. And CDEF represents the work done on liquid during delivery stroke. This is suction stroke and this is delivery stroke. The complete area of ABCD represents the total work done. Total work done during liquid in one cycle. So that is equal total work and weight of the liquid into HS plus HD. So this represents the total work done on liquid during one cycle. Variation of velocity and acceleration of piston. Here observe this diagram. This is the variation of velocity and acceleration of the piston. The effects of velocity and acceleration in suction and delivery pipes. When the crank rotates, piston moves to and fro in the cylinder. At the beginning of any stroke, velocity of the piston is 0. And the velocity of the piston is maximum at the center of each stroke. Again, it becomes 0 at end of the each stroke. Due to this effect, the piston accelerates at the beginning and retards at the end of each stroke. The liquid in contact with the piston will also undergo the same effect as that of piston. Thus, the velocity of flow of liquid in suction and delivery pipes will not be constant. This acceleration or retardation changes pressure inside the cylinder. These are the equation for effect of acceleration head-on indicator diagram. Pressure head due to acceleration HA is equal I by G into A omega square or cos theta by A, where L is equal length of the pipe in meter, A is the area of cross section of pipe in meter square. Acceleration pressure head at different positions of the piston. First one is the at the beginning of the stroke theta is equal pi is equal 0 degrees, and at middle of the stroke theta is equal pi is equal 90 degrees. At the beginning of the stroke is equal HA is equal I by G sorry for the disturbance. HA is equal I by G A omega square by A omega square into R by A. At the middle of the stroke, here it is pi is equal to 90 degrees, cos 90 is equal 0, so HA is equal 0. At the end of the stroke, again it is pi is equal 180 degrees, that is equal negative as similar to that at the beginning of the stroke. So these are the effect of acceleration head on indicator diagram. Crank angle, here is the crank angle is 3 stages, that is theta is equal 0 degrees and theta is equal 90 degrees, theta is equal 180 degrees. Theta is equal 0 is the beginning of the stroke, theta is equal 90 degrees is the middle of the stroke, theta is equal 180 is the end of the stroke. For the suction stroke, at the beginning of the stroke HS plus HA, at the middle of the stroke only HS, at the end of the stroke is HS minus HA. For delivery stroke, the pressure below atmospheric, here it is HD plus HA, and the middle of the stroke is HD, and at the end of the stroke is HD minus HA. Effects of acceleration on indicator diagram. You will observe this diagram, indicator diagram. So I think all of you understand this indicator diagram. Okay, watch this video, you will get an idea about the indicator diagram.
Or a reciprocating pumps. So I teach you what is indicator diagram, how to draw it, and what to identify by using this idle indicator diagrams. The indicator diagram for a reciprocating pump is defined as the graph. So it is a one graph, okay, between the two parameters. One parameter is the pressure head in the cylinder, and the another parameter is distance traveled by the piston, okay, and piston is traveled from the inner dead centers to the outer dead center from a one complete revolution of the crank. Means one revolution of the crank means 360 degree. So it is traveled from inner dead to outer dead and again come to the inner dead center. At that time, what is the change in the pressure in the reciprocating pump, that we plot on the one diagrams. So on the y-axis we take the pressure head, and on the x-axis we take the stroke length. So it is actually the distance, okay, distance traveled by the piston, it is the stroke length of the piston. So here I tell you that it is the cylinder, it is the suction valve, there is a delivery valve. So it is the inner dead positions of the piston. So piston is not moving ahead from this position, it is known as the inner dead centers, and somewhere here it is the outer dead center. Distance between the inner dead centers and the outer dead center, it is known as the stroke length, and stroke length means it is the maximum distance traveled by the piston from one place to another place, okay. So on this diagram, the suction point is start from the which place, okay, so that is a place below the atmospheric pressure, but here that is a stroke length is 0, okay, means volume is 0. But in this diagram we can understand that the piston, when the piston is at the inner dead center, there is some space between the cylinders as well as the pistons. So this space, so here this diagram is not exactly starting from the volume 0, but it is starting from somewhere here, okay. So as the maximum distance traveled by the pistons is equal to the stroke length, and on indicator diagram, the graph between the pressure head and the stroke length, okay. So here in some book, instead of stroke length, they also written as the distance traveled. So here we written stroke length because it is the maximum distance traveled by the piston. Now when we draw this indicator diagram, that means idle indicator diagram, so we neglecting the some parameters, that is neglecting the loss of head due to friction in suction and the delivery pipe, and the effect of acceleration of piston. And if we consider this not neglecting these losses, then it is known as the actual indicators diagram. But during the idle diagram, we are neglecting this parameter, friction head due to suction and delivery pipes and the effect of acceleration of piston. Now before moving ahead, I request to like the video and subscribe the channels for watching the more video. Now we understand how to draw the indicators diagram. So y-axis pressure head, on x-axis stroke length. So first we draw the atmospheric line. The line EF represents the atmospheric pressure head, and this atmospheric pressure head is denoted as H atmosphere. So this H is head and ATM means it is the atmosphere. So here I draw one line, and this line is represented as the atmospheric head. So here that is a zero head, and this height is indicate the atmospheric head. Now, and this atmospheric line is represented as the line E to F. During the suction stroke, the pressure head of liquid entering in the cylinder is below the atmospheric pressure head. Okay, so always the suction is takes place below the atmospheric pressure. So suction line is come below this line EF. Okay, and this equal to suction head HS, means height of this is denoted as HS, and it remains constant, and this is represented by line AB. So the suction line is come below this line EF. So here I draw the one suction stroke, means during the suction. So here what that is the our piston is at the inner dead centers, and here our piston is at the outer dead center. Okay, and this space is the here the cylinders and here the inner dead center. So this space is the idle, or it is known as the clearance volume. Okay, and the suction is takes place at a constant pressure. So here you see that it is horizontal line, that means it is the constant pressure line, and this is represented as the suction head HS, means below atmosphere to this line it is known as the suction head HS, and this line is represented as the line AB. So after suction at the 180, that is not an actual, right? That is in the idle diagrams. So after 180, when the piston is returned from the outer dead center towards the inner dead center, at that time its pressure is increased. So when the pressure is increased, so here we assume that at the 180-degree rotation of the crank, the pressure is increased. That means pressure is increased from here the suction head to the up to certain, that is here suppose the pressure is the 0.8 bar and it is increased up to the 10 bar. So it's reached the 10 bar at the constant volume. Okay. Now next stroke is the delivery after 180 to again come to the zero, that is known as the delivery stroke. During this delivery what happened, the pressure head of a liquid leaving the cylinder is above the atmospheric pressure. So here we see that the point is come above to the atmospheric points, and is equal to the delivery head HD. So it is denoted as the head HD, and it remains constant during the complete delivery. Means the complete delivery takes place, the head is constant and its value is HD, and this delivery line is represented by the line C to D. So this is the delivery stroke. Here the piston at the 180-degree or outer dead center, and here the piston is coming to the IDC, that is inner dead centers. Okay, so here the complete water is delivered at this point, and after that again the suction is start. Before that, above the atmospheric line, this line is known as the delivery head HD, and this delivery stroke is represented as C to D. Then after again the suction is start, so vacuum is created, and this process is continuously done. Now we understand what this diagram is indicated. So what is the work done per second or theoretical power required to run the pump? So in the pump we are get the hydraulic energy. So when we hydraulic energy is come, the equation is represented as rho g Q H, and in this case H is equal to HS plus HD. Now next we adding this Q. Q means it is the discharge, and the discharge or stroke, that is discharge is suppose in meter cube per second. Okay, but in an example it is given in meter cube per minute. So how we find out from a cylinder volume? So L is indicate this stroke length, A is area of the cylinder, and N is the RPM divided by 60. So that is a certain volume of the cylinder, but the piston is displaced multiple times in a minute. That's why here it is multiplied with a RPM. So suppose RPM is 100, then 100 times of the delivery takes place. So volume of the cylinder into 100 times, because the in a 1 minute 100 revolution is takes place, and divided by 60 is done because it is converted in meter cube per second. That's why it is divided by 60. Then further simplified, this L is multiplied with HS plus HD, so it is written as this equation. Now this rho g into area into n divided by 60 is considered as the constants. So instead of this part, we written the C in bracket L into HS plus HD. Now what is HS plus HD? HS plus HD is equal to height of this indicator diagram. This HS plus HD is equal to height of the indicator diagram. And L is equal to our stroke length, that is the distance from A to B or C to D. So this equation is written as that C into length of indicator diagram into height of indicator diagram. Okay, so HS plus HD is written as the height of indicator diagram. That means the constant into, now what is meaning of this length into height, that is indicate the area of the ABCD or indicator diagram. That means P is directly proportional to area of indicator diagram. That means power produced by the pump is, what's done by the pump to the water is proportional to area of indicator diagrams. Thank you for watching this.
I hope all of you understand this class. The summary of this class, today we discussed the construction and working of double acting reciprocating pump and work done, power required to drive the pump, and indicator diagram, ideal indicator diagram. So these topics are very important. So thank you one and all.